everyone, Adam here, Subwizard Podcast. I have another review for you today. The fine folks at Amazon FreeVee were kind enough to send over the first season of their upcoming series, Troppo. Troppo is as I mentioned, Amazon FreeVee series in working jointly with the Australian Broadcasting Company to tell a story about a disgraced cop, Ted Conkaffey, played by Thomas Jane, and a private investigator, Amanda Pharrell, played by Nicole Chamoun. This is a pretty standard police story, honestly, but the plot, the story just never quite comes together for me. I've only watched the first few episodes, so this will be spoiler-free. I don't want to give away the ending, especially because it's a mystery. There's nothing egregiously bad in this. It would almost be easier to do this review if the show was terrible, because then I could just come right out and say so. There's nothing so terrible. There's just also nothing unique or interesting. It kind of plays like a police procedural, but not in a network TV procedural sense where every episode they tie up a case and then there maybe is the one longer case for the season. The first few episodes, they are just working on the one case, and of course the case gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's not just as simple as it seemed at first look, of course, and that's kind of where my problems lie. Not in that the case gets bigger, that should happen, but in me saying, of course, to everything. Oh, there's a private investigator who's a little bit new and doesn't really quite know the ropes? Of course there is. Oh, there's an ex-cop who is now an alcoholic and also having money problems who reluctantly takes the case and doesn't want to be friends with this person, but through working with him, they form a friendship. Of course he is. Oh, there's a missing persons case that's not a missing persons case, and then there's money. Of course, we've seen it, and that's kind of where my issues with Troppo was. Felt like something I had seen before, even though I had never actually seen this show before. I thought maybe the fact that it was set in Australia would add a different wrinkle to it. Not really. I thought maybe the U.S. or the American to Australian kind of different cultures would clash and make it more interesting. Not really. I was looking for that thing, that one thing that would kind of make it stand a little higher above its competitors and give it that edge and make it be something that I'd give you a solid recommendation on. And for the first 3 hours out of 8, I didn't see it. I wouldn't flat out say, don't watch this show. If watching a crime case is your thing, it's exactly up your alley and you can't get enough of it, I'm sure you could do worse. But if you're looking for something fresh, if you're looking for a new take on something, if you're looking for something original, I mean, Night Sky's also coming out this week. I have a video on this channel talking about that one. It's another Amazon original. And that one, even though it wasn't the greatest thing I'd ever seen, it was at least doing something that I hadn't seen. It was forging some new ground. It was trying to tell its own story. So for the two, well, there's more than two things coming out on Amazon this week. For the two ones that we've reviewed this week, I personally would go the other way. Troppo just doesn't really have it. As far as the technical aspects of it, again, it was just kind of there. It was competently made. Technically, nothing looked wrong. The score wasn't wrong. The way it was shot wasn't wrong. The video quality was fine. But there was no interesting camera work. There was nothing really crazy good about the lighting or the atmosphere or setting it. And doing something in Australia, which at least I think as this vast, wide open, beautiful country, you don't really get to see it. I mean, it could have been shot on a backlot. It could have been shot in a swamp. I mean, there was nothing breathtaking. I mean, you want to watch this on your, giant new 4K TV and really take advantage, you're just going to see some sweaty people. And that's fine. As with all things Troppo, it's fine. It's a completely middle-of-the-road kind of story. There might be some twists and turns later on, to be fair. I did only watch 3 of 8 hours of the first season. So there might be some stuff coming that does find that hook. It does get you there. But I feel like with the sheer amount of stuff we have as options, the sheer amount of stuff we have to watch, and I'm way backed up in doing screeners and reviews for you guys because we try not to post more than one video a day just so they don't get lost in the shuffle and all these creators get a fair shake. After 3 hours, I couldn't invest more time waiting for something to hook me. I guess this is a short one because there's not much more to say to that. Troppo is competently acted. It's competently made. It looks fine. The story is fine. It doesn't do anything egregiously bad. It doesn't really do anything new or great. So if you're looking for a mystery, if you're looking for another cop show, if you're looking for something in the realm of procedural, that's one nice thing I can say. It's a bit above a procedural because it's not a case of the week solved up with a nice bow on it every 45 minutes like an NBC show would be, but it's just kind of there. Let me know. Am I wrong? Are you going to watch Troppo this week? After you watch it, drop us a note in the comments, leave us something on social media. Maybe hour 4, it really blows up and gets crazy, in which case I will be happy to admit that I'm wrong and dive back in and finish the show, because that would be awesome. But from what I saw, 3 hours out of 8, it just isn't there. It's a total middle-of-the-road kind of show. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. We have a lot more reviews, new movie coverage, interviews, unboxings, comic reviews, all sorts of awesome stuff coming your way. You're not going to want to miss out. Also, make sure you listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week, wherever you get your podcasts. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, videos, merchandise, and more. We love hearing feedback. That feedback that I just mentioned a little while ago. Drop some in the comments. Leave us something on social media. All the accounts will be found after the show and in the show notes. And on a more personal note, a good friend and I have an ongoing comedy comic series. It's called Social Studies. It's a slice of life story. It takes a look at the high school experience, follows a group of friends through all the insanity that they get into. It's styled after the 90s cartoons that we grew up on and love. We write it like a sitcom. We keep it fun. 9 issues available now. More coming down the pike. They're ready and waiting just for the printer to go. You can find them all at socialstudiescomic.com or on Comixology and Comixology Unlimited. Thanks.